Daryl Lennington here from itnewsafrica.com, and I'm being joined by Nick Keene, who's the business group lead for Modern Workplace for Microsoft. Great to have you here, Nick.
Daryl, nice to meet you, and thank you very much for taking the time to chat.
Perfect. So the way we communicate is evolving. How is Microsoft capitalizing on this?
You know, Microsoft has really been at the center and the core of productivity for users from Windows and Office. Many people remember that, and we've been delivering our modern desktop technology now from the cloud. In the form of Microsoft 365, we are now able to deliver a subscription-based service for customers to continue to use the tools that they're very familiar with over the many years, but on the terms that they like, so giving them a consumption-based model. So as Microsoft, we keep abreast with regards to what people want, what they're looking for, and how can we make them more efficient, more productive, more collaborative across their organization.
All right. So tell me, how does digitalization come into play here?
You know, digital transformation forms many different pillars within an organization, and where we see Modern Workplace really supporting organizations is what we call empowering employees. We can take an employee and really give them the tools needed to become a lot more efficient, a lot more productive, and thereby, you know, supporting the organization in productivity, in profit even, giving, you know, and also, you know, digital transformation for organizations might mean that the person can use any device, use any location, work from home, work from mobile offices. So, you know, these demands are really pushing organizations to change how their workforce actually, you know, collaborates.
All right. So you mentioned tools. What sort of tools would drive the digitalization journey forward?
Yeah. So, yeah, great question. And, you know, we've seen tools like email, right? So everyone's familiar with Microsoft Exchange as an email server with Outlook. But we really want to take customers past just email. We want to move them into a tool such as Microsoft Teams today, which is real-time collaboration. I mean, let's just go back to an email conversation, right? I start an email thread and I email you, and you might respond a couple of days later, or you might not respond, or, you know, the response might not be what I'm wanting. It's not really real-time. Then I have to pick up the phone and I have to phone you. But let's change the collaboration. Let's have a look at your presence, see if you're online, where you're away, what's your location, and really start changing that thread into more of a real-time communication chat. And I can then step that up to voice and video, conference, and really be productive. Bring in my documents, bring in all the streams of work that I need to actually have within a single pane of glass. And Microsoft Teams is really changing the way people are working together.
All right, so what trends have you seen in this sector?
You know, we've seen a huge upswing in the security concerns with an organization. As such, Microsoft is addressing security. And, you know, what we believe is that we are building the security, or we are building the security into our technology and supporting customers so that, you know, they can reduce the risk challenges that are currently present. Let's take, for example, ransomware. We've seen a recent spate of ransomware really starting to stress organizations. So by ensuring that our tools have the security built into them, we can actually have a look and determine what threats are happening in the world and actually warn and prevent those attacks from happening at the customer's coalface.
All right. So just to finalize things, you mentioned security. How important would it be to a company to bulk down on security, to actually reinforce security within a company?
You know, so absolutely. I mean, security can bring an organization to its knees, right? I mean, we've seen, depending upon the type of attack, it could be a attack trying to gain financial data. It can be just an attack to gain identities and or customer information. And if that customer information today is then leaked back onto the internet, you know, given the compliance of the GDPR, the European Union General Data Protection Regulation, and the the South African POPI Act, we see organizations having to be very, very risk adverse when it comes down to what's happening around security, and also then the compliance associated with that security risk. If I take your data and I expose you, that organization could actually become crippled, you know, if they're not protected.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time today.